In the old days, December leading into January was New Year's Eve, New Year's, college football. Now it's Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai has surpassed. Dick Clark died and Cobra Kai came in. Season 4 happened. Netflix dropped it. Give us your thoughts.
I kind of didn't love it. I'm sad to say, because I have loved the show so far. Season 1 is still my favorite, but it feels like every season they get further and further away from Miguel and Johnny. I think Miguel and Johnny, that's the relationship that should be at the center of everything. And we're drifting further and further away from it. And it makes me sad. I will say, though, you can tell they have the Netflix budget now. Whoever they brought in for the fight scenes is great. They look so good now. They're just like, oh, shit, we're getting after it. These kids are really going for it. But it breaks my heart to say I didn't love it as much as I thought I would, because I was so excited.
I think we see it the same way. First of all, even a mediocre to half decent Cobra Kai season is still worth a binge watch. My son and I watched all 10 on New Year's Eve. We were hiding from my wife who had COVID, and we were just like, screw it. And turns out it didn't help.
Let's be clear about that. Cobra Kai is great. This is like a championship level show. So when we say we didn't like a thing, that's still 62 wins that season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's also built where you're binging it, where if you're going to watch, it's basically watching a 6-hour movie, right? Because it's 10 episodes, but some of the episodes are 38, 39 minutes. So, it's a real commitment. I'm with you on drifting away from Miguel and Johnny. My issue goes deeper and is a little more sinister.
Talk to me.
I hate the LaRussos. I like the wife. I hate Daniel-san. I hate the kids. I'm so tired of Daniel-san tying everything back to some advice Mr. Miyagi gave him 30 years ago. And his kids, the daughter, who's just terrible at karate, like really like the least believable of all the people who fight in this thing. She just doesn't. There's like, oh, she made the finals. We're going to spoil some stuff, by the way. Anyone who cares about the show has already watched it. Oh, she made the finals. It's like, I don't believe she made the finals. This is ludicrous. And then they have the younger son who they try to position as like kind of his generation's Johnny Lawrence. He's a bully. And then Kenny turns it to flip. But I'm not rooting for that kid at all. I don't want any sort of redemption arc for him. But most important, I just don't like Daniel-san. And it really started with Karate Kid 3. He won me back a little in season 1, but I was really drifting more toward Johnny Lawrence and being Team Johnny. And now I'm to the point where I'm like, I just wish this whole show was about people trying to destroy Daniel-san.
Yeah, we are very much aligned right there. I think he is, to me, he's the least interesting on the show. It feels a little bit like what happened is they did the first season and it was this big hit and everybody loved it because Johnny Lawrence and Miguel are at the center of it. And then once that happened, they were like, well, hold on a second. Let's get some more LaRusso in here. Like his team was pushing for that because it was all of a sudden this gigantic thing is what it felt like. But yeah, it's just you don't like him the way that you did in the movies. He's just a different person or something.
It's even worse than that. They've changed the way I feel about him in the old movies.
Really?
Now, and one of the great things about Cobra Kai is it flipped the script and the narrative of what you thought with Karate Kid, especially the first one. Was Johnny really the villain? Was Daniel more of a dick than we realized? All that stuff. And it was really smart. And it really made you rethink like how you watch movies, what the prism of that is and all those things. But now I think back, like my son still watches the Karate Kid movies all the time. And like, I see Karate Kid 1 now and I'm like, Johnny has some points here. Like he did really go after his girlfriend. He was a dick during the soccer tryouts. Like he did turn the hose on him at the Halloween party and try to drown him. Like it wasn't like LaRusso was just this victim, like kind of the same way Kenny was in season 4 of Cobra Kai, at least for the first couple.
Yeah, that underdog pluckiness, it becomes a different thing when he is now a successful, rich businessman. And you're like, oh, you're kind of like cocky and arrogant. And why won't you just listen to what these other people are saying? The thing about him, like everything that somebody else says, he's like, well, Mr. Miyagi this or Mr. Miyagi that. Yeah, that's got to be like after a while, if you're in that family, like you got to fucking shut up about Mr. Miyagi.
Right. Mr. Miyagi, like solid custodial career, it looked like, was able to buy a lot of cars, decorated war veteran, led 2 karate championships for Daniel-san. But this was not Red Auerbach. This was not this is not Vince Lombardi. This is not, Plato. It wasn't like every sort of social situation Mr. Miyagi had an answer for. He was fine. He was helpful. Useful.
I think he was better than fine. I think he was better than fine. But just hearing somebody talk about him so much, you're like, come on, man. Come on, Daniel.
Also, we both have kids. We both have kids who are at the age where they're pretty tired of us. They don't really want to hear from us in general. They don't want to hear from us when we're just giving them basic tenets of advice that are useful, right? Like, hey, you should do your homework. Hey, you should sleep more. Can you imagine how much they would hate us if over and over again we were like, well, Mr. Miyagi told me once, ... Your kids would be like, hey, give it a rest. We've never even met this guy. Who is he?
100%.
So listen, this is the only way. We're heading into season 5. They laid the groundwork, some breadcrumbs for the bad guy from Karate Kid 2, who was great last season. That was a nice little surprise. But him coming back and teaming up with Daniel-san. But really what needs to happen is him and his wife need to get divorced. Because the wife is a great character. She needs to leave Daniel-san and either start dating Johnny Lawrence or somebody else or somebody Daniel doesn't like her. There needs to be, we need to get her out of the family because I actually like her. And
she's really good.
I lose confidence in her that she thinks like Daniel's my guy. I love this guy. He's awesome. It's like, what's awesome about him? He spends no time in his car business. He's devoted all of his spare time to this dojo where all he does is basically do yoga with his students and then get them to wash his car. And that's all he does. It's like, hey, what is this guy good at? Get away from this guy. Bad father. His kids are running. His daughter's like losing her mind. His son's a bully. Like, what are the wins with this guy?
I was excited about a few things in this season. Number one, I really like Tori. I like her being just like I think we talked about this in season 3. I thought when she has the big fight at the end, she just decided to put the spotlight on herself. She's like, I'm gonna take over everything. She's just a great villain face. So yes. I really liked her going nuts. Robbie Keane got fucking yoked. My boy came back ready. Like he's great.
Well, Miguel too. Miguel put on 20 pounds of.
Miguel's got a man body now.
Yeah, Miguel's like a man. It does not seem like a junior in high school. I'll tell you that much.
If he hits you with one of those kicks, you're fucking going down for a while now. It's a wrap. Man, but what a fun show to watch.
The kids, I thought, strong seasons from everybody. I liked all the plots, except for the LaRusso daughter. I still don't understand, what is motivating her with the karate side? What are her other interests? Does she think this is like a long form, platform for her to do whatever else? And also, why do these guys like her when over and over again she's a disappointment to Miguel and to Robbie? Like at some point, just cut the bait, stop being interested in her at all. But I'm with you on Tori. I thought she was the most interesting season 4 character because they left her in season 3. She's like Drago. She's just gone off the deep end. She's a super villain. She has no human qualities at all anymore. But season 4, they reeled it back, and I thought they did a good job with it.
She's great. I'm very excited about Kenny in season 5. I think he's going to be a super strong villain when he just leans in and he's like, he tells the Daniel's son, like, I'm just going to fuck your whole world up now. Like, all right, I'm back. Let's go. I want to see it.
So my son's biggest complaint with season 4 was not enough Kenny. That they could have taken 20 of the Daniel-san scenes and just given them to Kenny. Because Kenny,
I agree.
I was really invested the first couple episodes of like, oh, we're basically running back Daniel LaRusso with this tiny black kid who's got this brother who's in juvie, and there's this backstory, and I'm like, I want to see where this goes. And how is he going to fight back with the bullies in 2021? What are his mechanisms now? They're videotaping stuff. They're cyberbullying him. How is he going to basically realize karate is the savior? And then we don't see him for 3-4 episodes.
Yeah, he disappears.
And then we come back, he's good at karate, and all of a sudden he's tough. And it's like, where was the arc? You went from point A to point D, and I missed point B and point C. Where was it? So that was my biggest criticism, because I like that character too.
He was so good. He has such a great introduction. You watch him and you're like, all right, I'm in. And then when you see him turn bad, and you can see like I wish I knew his name. I'm gonna try to find the guy's name who plays him, Kenny. But he does such like a small thing with his face where it's like a little thing he does with his eyebrows where he at one point he looks totally innocent and insecure and uh like just doesn't believe in himself, and then by the end it's a small change, but he looks totally evil and just like ready to do bad things. And I really like when an actor can do that.
I like that they acknowledged with Hawk how ridiculous it was that he flipped sides at the end of season 3, and he had to build his trust back. They cut his hair. So they basically take away his superpower. And then as we're watching it, heading toward the season finale, I was saying to my son, like, it'd be fun if Hawk won the tournament, but they'll never do that. Yeah. And then they actually did it, which I thought was a nice little twist / wrinkle.
I was surprised that they went that way. I was glad that they did. I like Hawk. I was glad to see that he like finally got a little bit of shine. You knew Miguel wasn't going to win it again because he's just out. He's like, yeah, I'm done with all of this. You guys can have it.
Because like I'm 30 in real life. I gotta start making movies.
So he was done. I thought Robbie might pull it out, but Jacob or the guy's real name is Jacob. Eli given the talk when he's like, I'm the guy who's gonna fucking win this thing. Like, yeah, what a line. What a line.
Well, let's talk about the big addition to season 4, which was Terry Silver, the evil dojo from Karate Kid 3, one of the worst movies of the 80s, one of the most unintentionally hilarious movies of the 80s, a movie that has lived on now as like just a pure comedy. It started out as an intentional drama and now is like Over the Top and a few other ones is now just a comedy. Never thought they'd bring him back. They bring him back. He kind of looks like a cross between Doc and Back to the Future and like Christopher Walken when we see him. He's in Malibu in some super fancy beachfront mansion, and it seems like he's gone to this kind of business side, and he's done with that side of life. And then slowly we see him start getting reeled back in by Kreese, finally leading to you knew the ponytail was coming back. He finally did it.
I loved it. I love that part.
It was great. But I love that he acknowledged how insane he was in Karate Kid 3.
Yeah. That's a great
That's one of the best parts of the whole season. It's like, wow, I was doing a lot of cocaine back then. I was just crazy. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. That Karate Kid 3, you had to have been on cocaine. There's no other way. And he talked about how nuts is it? I devoted my life to trying to destroy a teenage karate champion, which was a running joke for everyone for 30 years. But I thought he was good. More importantly, I don't know how old he is in real life, but I thought his karate was like pretty good. Like he's got to be in his 60s now, right?
Yeah, he looked great. He looked like if he had just stayed in that character for his whole life. He's 59 right now. Yeah, he gets out there, he starts kicking around. You know what I was a little disappointed in, because he shows up and he's just a great bad guy. The thing you're talking about Karate Kid 3 being a comedy, when you watch it now, when we get introduced to him, he's like in a hot tub on a big cell phone with a ponytail and an earring, talking about dumping nuclear waste into the river in South America. So like he's doing every single bad thing guy you can think of. So he shows up here and he's doing a more modern version of it. And he's a really great bad guy face. And I thought, okay, cool. We're going to have him and we're going to have Kreese teamed up. Kreese is the ultimate bad guy all of the time. But then Kreese goes the opposite way and is like, he's going to be a good guy now. And I didn't like, I love Kreese as a character. One of my favorite movie characters, TV characters ever. He's so good when he's just evil and conniving. And they were like pulling that away from him.
Yeah, nobody wants good Kreese. I wasn't looking for that.
I have a Kreese action figure right here as we talk. Wow. How about that?
Yeah, Kreese should have been one of those people that just stayed a certain way, but I think that's part of the problem when you're doing this many episodes and they're this long. You have to, it almost becomes like professional wrestling where it's like, Shea Serrano's a good guy.
That's a good point.
Oh, now he's a bad guy. Oh, now he's a good guy again. And it's this good guy, bad guy thing that I think they're trapped in. Heading forward, how many more seasons of this show do you want? And do you think, before this really tails off, because they're pushing it at this point?
You know, I think all that they have to do, because I think you can make this show as many seasons as you want to make it if you just pull away from LaRusso
Yeah.
Let the other people come in. Just cycle them in. We have like Kenny becomes the new star of the show.
Yeah.
You age out all the other high school kids, and now we're just following Kenny from grade 9 to grade 12, which I think would be great. And then at some point, you have a new kid come. Like you could do it forever if you have the right people, and you can just keep bringing in little characters from the movies if you want. You probably don't even have to do that after a while because we've pretty much gotten all of the ones we wanted. I did want to see Karate's bad boy Mike Barnes show up somewhere.
I thought for sure. Where is he? Is he alive? I thought for sure we were getting him. They hinted maybe he's coming for the 5th season.
Get him in here. He was great because he beat the hell out of Daniel LaRusso in the tournament.
Yeah, it wasn't close.
He kept taking points away from himself just like on purpose. Remember, he put up like 15 points on him. He's supposed to go to 3 or whatever. But anyway, what I'm saying is, do it as long as you want. Cycle in they can clearly find the characters. Bringing in Miguel, it worked because we were just focused on him. You bring in Tori, it worked. You bring in Kenny, it works. Like just do that. Let's watch that. I would love to watch that.
Who do you have Mike Barnes against Chung Lee in Kumite?
Putting him in the dirt.
Not even close. We never saw Mike Barnes really get touched in any sort of tournament. I don't know what his ceiling was. We never even saw anyone test him.
Yeah.
Chung Lee, I don't know. You could get Chung Lee maybe playing to the crowd a little bit, turning around. I think he leaves some openings. All right, I'm going to give you choices for Daniel San for season 5. Here are the options.
All right. Okay.
Divorce.
Mm-hmm.
Drug problem.
Okay. It's just getting darker and darker.
Killed off.
Killed off?
Killed off. He's out.
Wow.
Get rid of him. We take Macchio. We take the money we're paying Macchio. Kill him off. Make that the plot for season 5. And use that money and maybe we go get Mike Barnes. Maybe is Von Damme still around? Maybe Von Damme moves into Encino. Maybe we use that money elsewhere. Is Daniel a sunk cost?
How do you kill off the Karate Kid?
It might be time.
I don't think you can do it. I think.
Listen, you and I just said there wasn't one redeeming thing about him in season 4. He's not likable. He's not funny. I'm tired of hearing him talk about Mr. Miyagi. What's good about Daniel?
All right.
Get him out.
All right. We'll get him out of here.
Get him out.
If those are the options, I'll go divorced. His life falls apart.
Yeah.
He does some time for tax evasion. It turns out he's like a seedy businessman. And now he's just, there you go.
That'd be great. Well, he's a terrible father, and I don't really enjoy his character anymore. And I think his wife could do better. Cobra Kai, final grade. I'm going to go by the Cobra Kai standards, B- C+ range for what I enjoy with a binge watch standard. It's still a B+ as a binge watch.
Yeah, I'm right. I had a B+ coming in. It's season 1. I don't think we'll ever get to catch season 1 just because it was so electric. I think I go back and I rewatch Miguel's fights from the tournament. I go back and I rewatch when Cobra Kai comes in. Cobra Kai, and they have got the black suits. Oh my God, it's so fucking good. But yeah, this season, it's a B+ binge. Just sit down and watch it in one whole day. You're gonna have a great time. And then there you go.
Season 4 MVP?
Season 4 MVP. Johnny Lawrence again. Give me Johnny Lawrence in first place. We got a couple of scenes this time where he gets to be like emotional.
Yeah.
Oh man, he was
good
so
actor.
good. He's such a good actor. Most underrated performer is Tori. I think she's great. Those are my top 2 for the season. And then I wish we had more Miguel always.
I'm with you. Well, Miguel seems like now that he's an adult, maybe he should be getting thrown in the mix for some parts that are out there. So we're gonna have Michael Pena.
I can't wait. I can't wait for that career.
Yeah,
I can't wait for that career.
There's a moment. He's got some size now. I don't like Robbie seems short in real life, which I think is going to be a problem. But Miguel seems like he's got some size. I feel like there's a Netflix action movie in his future.
Great look.
Yeah, there's some moves for him.